Usually I have a structure for these videos, but I'm going to dive straight in with... We've got legend tokens, right? I've got 102,000 I can spend on absolutely nothing. And they decided for this patch, we're going to add in a new type of chest for the event, but we're also going to add in a new kind of currency, which you won't be able to use for anything but this event, and you can't actually use the legend tokens for anything during this event. Like Respawn, if you really wanted to reward people who have been playing it from the very start, let them use the legend tokens, let them use those currencies that they don't actually have anything to use for at the moment after level 100. They're just completely useless, 100 grand of them sat there doing absolutely nothing, and you go, well actually we're going to add a new currency. Why? When I first saw that they were going to be doing a solos mode, I was kind of like, not really that bothered about solos at all. It's not what the game's about for me, and it's just going to be hectic, like basically playing any shooter. And from my experience so far since it released yesterday, it basically is any other shooter but with more RNG. Hence why I've gone back to playing normal mode. But the fact that the event is only for solos when a lot of people will still be playing normals, it doesn't really make any sense. You could have just done it for normals as well, so people who don't enjoy solos can still kind of unlock some of this stuff. And I say some, because a lot of it is actually gated behind the paid for boxes, which I kind of understand because you're obviously going to want money from people. But I feel like the people, especially if they've paid for the battle pass, they've basically got nothing to show for it in this event. It's just pay more money please. Which again would have been mitigated if you'd allowed us to use legend tokens as well. And to get the heirloom, you have to spend about $200, which would equate to probably about £170, which is, you know, expensive. Very expensive for one item. It's turning into CSGO knives. And just overall, in terms of actually playing the solo modes, my experience of it so far has been this. Join a game, pick a legend. Half the legends are actually useless because you want to be fast and maneuverable. If you're not fast and maneuverable, you can't get out in tricky situations. And speaking of tricky situations, because most people are going to be going to busy areas, such as Skulltown, you know, Thunderdome, the popular places, don't have to be a hotspot. You basically will get third-partied as soon as anyone shoots. And you basically have to watch your back at all times, which is kind of understandable, but due to the fact that there's 60 people, the chances of being third-partied is increased by 2/3. So it's actually more of an annoyance than it is anything else, and I might as well be playing a team deathmatch or, you know, deathmatch game. Any kind of shooter, I might as well just play that instead. I get that some people will want to be playing like that, and that's why people on their Twitter have been spamming for the last 3 or to 6 months, should I say, we want solo mode. It's because they don't want to play with people for some reason. So to kind of sum up where my head's at in terms of an opinion at the minute, it feels like a very divisive patch. It's very much split down the middle, and I don't think it's for the good. Because not only is it a mode that they said they would never introduce because it doesn't benefit the game, they've also introduced a cash shop on top of a cash shop, which is even more expensive than the normal cash shop. It's just overall giving me a very bad feeling about the direction they are wanting to take the game in, if this is what they are wanting to do. Because if this is the direction we're going in, not only are we going to have a cash shop, we're going to have a battle pass, we're going to have on top of that events throughout the battle pass, which need you to spend even more money to unlock any cosmetics. But then the people who are wanting to play it as a free-to-play game, which is their right, if they don't want to pay for skins, that's completely fine. They should be allowed to get something for it though, otherwise what's the point of the legend tokens? If the legend tokens really are just for unlocking legends, you might as well just do away with both requirements and unlock all legends from the start so people can just play who they want to play. And yes, I do know that they unlock the alternative skins from buying, let's say, a legendary skin on the shop, but let's be honest, they should be included anyway. You shouldn't have to pay legend tokens for them, that's kind of just a thing to make you think you're getting a good deal. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at the minute. It's very much soured the way that I'm looking at the game and made me wonder what the heck is going to go on in the next 3 months, because this will pretty much decide whether I want to keep playing or not. Because I've been fine up to this point. Didn't mind the way they were doing the cash shop, even if it was a little expensive. Then we had, you know, the whole fiasco with no content, but they fixed that. They brought the battle pass, improved it, it was going in a good direction, and now this has happened, so I'm not really sure what to think. But I guess we'll find out in the coming months. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you for the next one.